They promised freedom, they gave artists ownership, but now Empire Records is surrounded by death, indictments, and online conspiracy. Is it just the streets or something deeper? In the early 2010s, while major labels like Def Jam and Interscope still ruled the charts, a quiet revolution was brewing out west, based in San Francisco, not LA, not New York. An unknown label named Empire was quietly building the future of music. Founded by Ghazi, a tech-savvy music distribution executive and former audio engineer, Empire was less about suits and boardrooms and more about algorithms, equity, and access. The pitch was simple but powerful. Retain your masters, keep a bigger slice of your earnings, and move how you want. In an industry where artists were routinely locked into 360 deals that stripped them of their rights, Empire offered freedom. And to a generation of independent rappers and hustlers turned artists, that was gold. Empire wasn't trying to be the next Def Jam, it was trying to be the Spotify era Motown. Faster, smarter, artist-owned, with a digital-first model and a deep understanding of how streaming platforms were changing every day. Ghazi's team helped artists monetize music without the traditional middleman. With a digital-first model and a deep understanding of how streaming platforms were changing everything, Ghazi's team helped artists monetize music without the traditional middleman. And it worked. Their early roster was a who's who of rising talent. Kendrick Lamar's Section 80 was distributed by Empire. So was D-Smoke's Grammy-nominated Black Habits, and early mixtapes from Mozzie, Jackboy, Pat Joe, and Rich Homie Quan. Even international artists and veterans like Iggy Azalea, T.I., and Tyga used the Empire as a distributor. But where Empire really changed the game was in trap and drill rap. The label embraced artists from the streets, raw, unfiltered voices with cult followings and viral heat. The major labels hesitated, but Empire signed them. They inked deals with King Von, Mo3, Young Dolph, PNB Rock, and Drakeo the Ruler, names that were making waves independently and becoming street legends. Empire didn't demand full control. Instead, they offered distribution, marketing, and creative freedom. It was a win-win for a while. But then the headlines started piling up. Artist after artist affiliated with Empire were dying, not from overdoses or car crashes, but from violence, often in their own hometowns. Others were arrested or indicted on federal charges. Fans started noticing a pattern. Some began asking, why are so many Empire artists dying? The online theories were swift and wild. Empire is cashing in on life insurance policies, some claimed. Others blamed the label for not doing enough to protect its talent. Ghazi pushed back, calling the rumors baseless and disrespectful, but still the questions didn't go away. What started as a digital era success story was now surrounded by whispers of danger and death. Empire's rise was real, but it came with a shadow. Was this simply the cost of working with high-risk talent in a violent genre? Or was Empire's hands-off model leaving artists vulnerable? That's what we'll unpack next. King Von, Young Dolph, PNB Rock, all murdered, all signed to Empire. These aren't coincidences, they're warning signs. November 6, 2020, Atlanta, Georgia. Rising Chicago rapper King Von is gunned down outside Monaco Hookah Lounge during an altercation. Just 1 week earlier, he had released his debut album, Welcome to O-Block. He was 26. He was distributed by Empire. November 17, 2021, Memphis, Tennessee. Rap mogul Young Dolph is shot and killed while buying cookies at a local bakery, a regular stop for the beloved community figure. Just months before, he'd released Dumb and Dumber 2 with Key Glock under his paper route Empire label, distributed by Empire. He was 36. September 12, 2022, Los Angeles, California. Philly's melodic hitmaker PNB Rock is murdered in broad daylight during a robbery at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. He had posted his location on Instagram, a move police later linked to attackers finding him. His most recent projects were released through Empire. He was 30. 3 high-profile murders. 3 artists at the top of their game, all affiliated with the same indie label. To some, these were just tragic blips. To others, it felt like a trend, and the list didn't stop there. Joe B, killed in 2013. Drakeo the Ruler, stabbed backstage in 2021. Mo 3, gunned down on a Dallas highway, and several others. Each had ties to Empire. Each was a rising voice silenced violently. Fans and the internet sleuths took notice. Conspiracy videos flooded YouTube and TikTok. Speculations of label insurance payouts, bad energy, and ritualistic industry sacrifice theories ran rampant. Empire became the centerpiece of an ongoing online mythos that blurred fact with fiction. In response, Ghazi and his team denied any wrongdoing or secret agendas. Quote, "We are devastated every time we lose an artist," unquote, he told Billboard. "These are human beings with families. There's no proof of anything sinister, but what is undeniable is the body count." Some critics point out that Empire's very strength, working with raw, unfiltered street artists, is also its risk. Unlike major labels that might filter or insulate talent from dangerous environments, Empire's flexible model allows artists to stay deeply embedded in their original ecosystems, and that comes at a cost. These rappers didn't die in luxury hotel suites. They died in their own cities, doing everyday things, eating, shopping, recording. That's what makes the violence even more chilling. Fame didn't shield them. In some cases, it may have made them bigger targets. Is Empire at fault? Maybe not directly, but it sits at the intersection of independence and instability. Its business model favors creative autonomy, but may leave artists without the protection or relocation plans bigger labels offer. And when enough deaths happen under one roof, fair or not, the public starts connecting dots. The question isn't whether Empire is cursed, it's whether the risk of modern rap have outgrown the model Ghazi built. From RICO charges to unsolved murders, Empire's artists aren't just dying, they're getting locked up in record numbers. Is this the price of independence or the result of something more sinister? If the death of King Von, Young Dolph, and PNB Rock raise questions about the safety of being signed to Empire, the growing list of Empire-affiliated artists caught in the crosshairs of the criminal justice system added fuel to the fire. Empire didn't just build a roster of artists, it built a roster of street-certified stars. Many of its biggest names were connected to real-life gang activity, criminal indictments, and violent backstories. Some of them turned their past into multi-million-dollar brands. But in an era of hyper-surveillance, federal prosecutors were also watching. Take Mosey, the Sacramento rapper whose gritty, raw depictions of gang violence made him a legend in West Coast rap. While he rose to fame in Empire's backing, he also faced multiple arrests, including weapons and gun charges. Though Mosey eventually signed with CMG under Yo Gotti, his rise was forged in Empire's trenches, and his struggles were part of the same tension between art and reality. Then there's Drakeo the Ruler, a rapper whose unique slang and offbeat flows made him a cult hero in LA rap. His legal saga, however, was just as famous as his music. Drakeo spent years fighting a bizarre gang conspiracy case in which prosecutors tried to use his lyrics as evidence in court. He was eventually acquitted, but his time behind bars and eventual death at a concert in 2021 added to the growing list of Empire artists surrounded by both danger and litigation. OMB Peasy, Desto Dub, Money Sign, Suede, and others followed similar paths. Young talent with massive street buzz, but also long legal records and dangerous ties. Empire's roster became a paradox. It gave artists the tools to escape the streets, but its structure, non-exclusive deals, little intervention, fast-paced output often left them tethered to the very environments they were trying to rise above. The label's distribution-first model also means it's working with hundreds of artists at once. Some are major stars, others are regional favorites. That volume comes with risks. Empire isn't managing the artists' day-to-day lives, it's pushing product. And in a world where music and violence often overlap, that can get messy. But critics say it goes deeper. They accuse Empire of profiting off pain, of building its empire on the backs of artists from vulnerable environments, extracting their cultural capital without offering long-term protection or mentorship. This echoes a larger issue in hip-hop, the commodification of trauma. Labels push narratives of violence, redemption, and the come-up. But when the artist gets caught in real-life legal trouble, they are often left to fend for themselves. Empire, to its credit, has never shied away from where it came from. Ghazi has spoke openly about his love for the culture, his commitment to artist ownership, and the need for alternatives to exploitative major label deals. But when too many of your signees are dying or getting indicted, your business model starts looking like a pipeline to the grave or the pen. The basic question becomes, is Empire enabling independence or simply packing pain? The line between empowerment and exploitation is razor thin, and in hip-hop, it often gets blurred by the beat.